Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm of course your host, the Droodles Blitz, and in today's video we are doing a full down review on the TITAN-54D. This is a Tier 8 Russian medium unidentified nation tank. I mean, it's Russian. It's clearly based off of a T-54, but Wargaming put it in the unidentified nation. In today's video, we'll be talking about the tank, a bit about its armor, and my overall opinion on the vehicle, if it's a good tank. And I can definitely tell you it is a pretty solid tank, but not worth the price. It is currently only available in lock boxes, and these are some of the worst drop chance lock boxes yet to be in the game. If we take a look at the lock box, here we are, it's got a 3% drop chance for the Titan alone, which is quite awful. I got very lucky to get my hands on the vehicle with that 3%. Apart from the 3% drop chance, the T-28 Defender has a pretty good drop chance of certificates, the AIM-X Defender, IS-3 Defender. There's a lot of certificates, but if you wanted the Titan, it has the lowest drop chance by far. You have about a 10% chance to get charms for the vehicle, and those charms range from 30 to 10. So if you don't get a lot of charms and you have to keep buying more and more crates, basically it can become a really expensive endeavor. Just to show how many certificates I have for other vehicles apart from the Titan, if we make our way down here, you can see I only got 20 parts for the Titan, I got 20 parts for the T-28 Defender, 10 for the IS-3 Defender, 60 for the AIM-X Defender, and 50 for the Defender Mark 1. This was about $30 spent on these crates. So yeah, they're not great. Please do not waste your money on these lock boxes. When it comes to the Titan, though, with that aside, it is actually a pretty fun vehicle. It's literally a T-54 lightweight that has then been turned a little bit more into a medium tank. Frontally, its armor is quite bad, though. It's about 150 to 160 on the upper plate, which isn't great. Frontally, you only have 5 degrees of gun depression, but if you turn it to the side, and actually you'll be able to see my mouse, right at this crease here, you can get 7 degrees of gun depression. So right over the edge, all the way on the sides, you have 7 degrees. So it's a very weird tank, but as long as you angle it correctly and you poke sideways on ridge lines, you should be fine, especially because it has a very solid turret. It's very similar to the T-54 lightweight turret, which we all know has pretty impressive armor, so you can get a fair amount of bounces on it for the tier that it's in. When it comes to the gun, it's got a very high alpha of 310, which is a lot higher than the average 280 you find on the T-54 Mod 1 or other Russian-esque guns like the Type 59. It's got very nice standard pen at 217, which really surprised me. I didn't think he was going to have great standard pen, but it does. And the premium, 297. Yeah, that's also insane. So it's got great pen, pretty good aiming time, and pretty good dispersion as well for the alpha, but pretty average DPM of 1995. I can definitely tell you for a fact that it is a very well-balanced vehicle. It's not the fastest, only going 45 with a power-to-weight ratio of 18.7. It's just a fun tank to play. I enjoyed playing it, and funny enough, while I was live streaming today, Fatness asked if he could hop on stream, and that's exactly why Fatness is in these 2 replays I'm going to be showcasing. I actually got the tank after he hopped on stream. I was doing a live stream so that I could showcase me opening crates while I was playing battles and getting them, because I wasn't wasting my money on just the single crate offer. So I got a bunch of crates while I was playing a live stream and managed to get my hands on this vehicle and played, I think, 6 or 7 battles in this tank. So let's see this first battle, what we have on the enemy team. We got a Chrysler, a Lerva, a Borsig, a T-34-2, we got a T-49, a Tiger 2, and a VK-168. Alright, so they got a lot of tanks, and some of them are very strong, especially against this vehicle. So we're going to push it over towards heavy side. This is definitely a medium tank. It's not a light. Don't think of it as a T-54 lightweight, but I will say the upper plate is quite bad. It's only really good if you're using it with the 7 degrees at a steep angle, but if you do use it fully hull down, it's about 180 to 190 millimeters, which is decent. You can get bounces here and there. If I'm going to be totally honest, and I said this during live stream as well, a T-54 Mod 1 will get you further than this tank. The gun is nice, the alpha's good, you know, it's got a lot of great strengths going for it, but at the same time, a T-54 Mod 1 has good DPM, the T-54 Mod 1 has good mobility, only going 5 slower with a great power to weight, and the Mod 1 has better upper plate armor, a lot better upper plate armor. And the fact that you have the same gun depression over the front, plus you don't have turret weak spots like that, yeah, the Mod 1, in all reality, is a better tank, if I'm going to be completely real. So don't feel bummed out if you don't get this vehicle. It's really nothing special, but I like that, because when Wargaming doesn't make special tanks, then you shouldn't feel bad if you don't get your hands on it. But man, that heat pen, oh, just butters right through that Tiger. So already, we've been able to deal 1,098 damage. You can see Fatten is all the way on the other side, trying to deal with that T-34-2. He's dealing with a 1 versus 2, and I'm on to this side over here, trying to, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of chilling here at this point. We got the VK-168 aiming it on his hatch, and ooh, it actually goes directly where I aimed. I was kind of expecting the shell to go a bit higher, but that was just on me for aiming a bit too low there. But either way, we're doing fine. We get a nice shot right onto the larva's side of the turret for 334. That alpha's great. Being able to roll 310 on average just feels really solid. And you can see there that the 217 millimeters of standard pen is plenty to cut straight through that larva's lower plate. So yeah, I mean, I do like the gun. It's very rare for mediums to have a lot of standard pen, especially at tier 8. And this tank just absolutely bombs it. So there you go. Another nice shell into the VK-168. With that, we have just finally broken the 2,000 damage barrier. You can see I'm going to push up. One thing I will say about this tank is it's actually not bad at side scraping. It's got around, like, I would say 60 millimeters of side armor, 50 millimeters, which means that with the space it has added on, you can do pretty well. You can see there, gun depression kind of let me down a bit, but it's fine. It's just one shell that bounces. It's not like I'm in any worry for this being a loss. So we're going to aim in a shell on the side of the Chrysler. Another high roll for 330. With that, we're sitting up at 2,700 damage. All right, well, I was thinking about shooting the Chrysler. He's a one-shot, though. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Nah, we're going to go kill this Borsig. The Borsig just cleared fatness, so I am going to get vengeance. Speed is key. There you go. 285 damage ram. Not bad at all. With that, we're up to 3,300 damage dealt. We're going to get another shell into his vehicle. That's 3,500 now, and all that's left is the T-49 all the way across the map. Alright, so what am I going to do? I'm all out of heat, but obviously I don't need heat shells for a T-49. That is one thing I did notice about this tank, is it has a very poor ammunition loadout. I like to run a lot of HE. I also like to run a lot of AP. So I opted to not run a lot of heat, and it seems like it's gone well for me. But there you go. That was an incredibly lucky HE on the 49. With that, we have broken 4,000 damage. And that's a dub. There you have it. So, not a bad battle at all. Clearly showcasing some of the strengths and some of the weaknesses of the vehicle. You'll notice the armor didn't really do much, and that's what you should expect from this tank. The armor to not really do a crazy amount. Now, there is one thing I forgot to mention, which is the consumable. When you're running the super duper dynamic armor system, it makes 10% of the damage you receive less. So it's kind of bad. Fatness even took it off. He was running it in the beginning, and then he realized how useless it is, and took it off. And to be honest, I don't blame him. The dynamic armor, sure, it makes your upper plate go up a little bit, but who cares? It barely makes a difference. You're only bouncing maybe one shell, and even if you bounce the shell, it's just why? You can run a repair kit, makes your tank a lot more effective over running a consumable that only lasts for 17 seconds. So what does the enemy team have? They got an M46 Patton, a Tortoise, a Jagdpanther 2, Object 252, a Borsig, a Samwa SM, and a Tiger 2. Fatness did not want to go up the hill. I did. I was being risky here. They didn't have many mobile tank destroyers, and the only medium they have is an M46 Patton, and that's fully who I was expecting to be able to get a shell into me. Nobody else. You will notice that it's not the fastest of mediums, though. It's definitely a little bit poob on its power-to-weight ratio, but either way, we got a nice shot in for 299. Unfortunately, we got hit really hard by that Patton. Quite a high roll. But let's get a nice shell into the Sama, and there you go. We're already sitting at 600 damage. The Alpha is just so nice. I really do enjoy it. As many of you know, I love any tank that carries big Alpha, and that is definitely the case for this vehicle. So we've already been able to dump out 930 damage. I know that the Sama only has 2 shells left, so let's get 1 shell into him there. That's 1 of his shells fired, which means he only has 1 more shell ready. But do I want to really take the shell from him? Well, we're going to be careful here. We're going to aim it on this tank and fire. What? I just... invisible walls. That's all there is to say. But yeah, unfortunate for us, we also get penned in the same time. You can see the armor doesn't really work too well on the vehicle. Its frontal plate is just quite an easy pen. You can see them cutting right through that lower spot. So yeah, definitely be careful when you're using this tank and showcasing your frontal armor because it's not going to last forever. But if you do angle it correctly like that one there, we got a bounce from the Tiger too. We're up to 1,861 damage dealt so far. Nice shot on the side of the Sama. Now we're over 2,000. Okay. All right, we're starting to get some decent damage chunks here. I did see that patent flanking off to the side, which you're going to see spotted in just a moment. I was just not able to turn quick enough to be able to shoot him, but that's fine because we are still doing okay. We got enough health to take a shell from almost anybody on the front line in their team, so I'm not super worried, but I don't have enough health to take a shell from that vehicle. Yeah, that Borsig popped out of nowhere. And, yeah, that was pretty lucky. That's all there is to say. I got very lucky that the Borsig did not pen me. But again, that's the upper plate doing the trick. If you angle it steep enough, it will bounce a lot of shells. So here's the Borsig. I was hoping we could poke him. Borsig shoots at fatness, and, oh, it gets a pretty beefy shell into him. But good news is that we are still winning this game. I'm going to aim in a heat shell right onto his hatch, and doesn't pierce. Rip. Rip, 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 rip. Well, all good is we are still over 3,000 damage, so at this point it's not super important to me. The Borsig, I was just going to try and clear him. I'm going to load an HE shell, and yeet! Yes, okay, Borsig is cleared. That's all good news, because now I do not have to worry about being one shot, which means all that's left is a Tiger 2, so we're going to aim in a shell on his tank. I don't care if I get penned. We got enough health to take a shell from him, and there you go. Tiger 2's cleared. We're up to 3,500 damage dealt. We got the Tortoise pulling around the corner. I'm going to aim in a shell right on this Tortoise's roof. There you are. Let's back up. And we're up to 3,700 damage now. All right, we've done really good on damage. So I'm going to try and get a shell into this Jagdpanther, but the Tortoise just kind of drives right into it. Oh, well. Let's just push out. Maybe we can get a shell into the Sumu. All right, here we go. And a fire. Nice. Okay, we got the pen on him. There you have it, 4,037 damage dealt, 950 blocked, and we did everything we needed to win that battle. So, TITAN-54D, it's a nice tank. It's got a good gun, good alpha, and even managed to pull out a mastery for this battle. For the let me see how many battles I played in it. I think it was like 6 or so. Oh, actually I played more. 10 battles I played in it. I was able to average 3,000 damage just about, and win all 10 of them. It's not bad. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you guys think about this tank in the comments down below. Looks very cool. That's really about it, though. There's nothing crazy. As I said, the mod 1 is kind of just a better version of this vehicle if you really want that frontal armor. But, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.